Morning San Antonio starts right now.
As more people across the globe start getting back onto planes, airlines now rolling out new safety policies. What you need to know before you take off.
And another gambling ring bust in our area. 40 people cited not only for illegal gambling, but also social distancing. Alicia Beretta will join us live with the details.
And taking a live look out at the Alamo City, calm and quiet now, a degree higher than what we started with yesterday, but yesterday ended to be hot and humid. What can we expect today? Sarah Spivey's just a few moments away. Good morning. It is 6 o'clock this morning, Sunday, May 3rd. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it was very warm yesterday afternoon. It is May 3rd, feeling like June 3rd.
I know. I kind of didn't want to be outside during the peak heating of the day yesterday just because it was so hot and humid. And today, you know, it was going to be very similar to yesterday. In fact, almost a degree by degree copy of each other. That's how warm it's going to be today as well. So I got an easy job as a meteorologist today because all you had to do is copy and paste the forecast over. No, I'm kidding. But we are looking at temperatures right around where they were to start the day off yesterday in the low 70s, humidity at 81%. It is, however, in the upper 60s up in the hill country, 67 in Kerrville, 70 in Hondo, 67 in Pleasanton, 70 in Gonzales, and 68 in Uvalde. Notice that clouds are starting to increase as we start to see the first light of the day. Here's a look at the satellite picture. Clouds increasing, high clouds from the west, low clouds from the southeast. And so right now we're mostly cloudy outside around San Antonio. And we'll hang on to those clouds for the morning hours. But then by the afternoon, once again, we will quickly clear out. It'll be mostly sunny and hot. 95 for the high. Southeast winds at 10 to about 15 miles per hour. But guess what? We've got a double dose of cool fronts on the way. I'll take a look at that temperature tumble in just a few minutes. Stephanie?
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, one man was hit and killed by another driver after his SUV stalled out on the highway. Now, it happened around 10:30 last night on I-10 right under UTSA Boulevard. Police say an SUV was stopped on I-10 when the driver of a pickup truck heading east on the highway crashed into the stopped SUV. Now, we're told the driver inside the SUV died on impact. The driver of the pickup truck was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are ruling this an accident and tell us alcohol was not a factor. Another woman tried to avoid the wreck. She lost control of her vehicle and crashed, but only suffered minor injuries.
And on the city's south side, reports of a shooting ends with a police bust. Dozens of people cited for multiple offenses.
San Antonio police say illegal activity was going on and the people involved were not social distancing. Our Alicia Beretta is live downtown with more on exactly what happened.
Well, we know that a total of 40 people were cited again because they weren't socially distancing themselves, but they were also participating in an illegal activity. We told that they were gambling on 8-liners last night. And again, this call to SAPD came to the city's south side around 9 last night. And it was about a shooting between two relatives. But once police showed up to the address and entered the home, they discovered a massive amount of people and 8-liners throughout the home. In total, police counted 48 liners inside of the home. They know SAPD's Vice Squad remained at the scene late into last night to begin their investigation. Officers did issue citations to all 40 people involved for violating the city's ordinance for social distancing, as well as for illegal gambling. As of now, the owner of the home or who owns those 8-liners, that has not been told by police. We don't have that information just now. Our night beat crew, they were at the scene last night. You saw that late last night. And they say that they witnessed a man being escorted by police in handcuffs. But as of now, police haven't issued an arrest and they haven't provided that information. So we'll keep you updated with that. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alicia. New this morning, police still searching for who is responsible for shooting and killing 2 men. Those 2 men found dead inside a vehicle on the city's north side. All of this happening yesterday at an apartment complex on Jackson Keller Road. San Antonio police responding to a call for a report of a sick or injured person, and when they arrived, they found those 2 victims shot and killed. Chief McManus describes the incident as a drug deal that, quote, went sideways. Now, police do not have any leads on any potential suspects right now. Both men believed to be in their mid-20s. If you have any information that can help this case, please call police immediately.
Here in Bexar County, positive COVID-19 cases keep rising, so let's take a look at those numbers. There are a total of 1,585 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 205 travel-related, 697 are close contact, and 505 are from community spread. Now, 178 are under investigation. From those total numbers, 187 positive cases are from the inmates from the Bexar County Jail, and 48 are employees.
In your morning headlines, as more states begin to ease stay-at-home orders, major United States airlines are updating their safety protocols. So earlier this week, we told you JetBlue became the first airline to require passengers to wear face masks. Now, all major U.S. airlines are doing the exact same. The leader of the Association of Flight Attendants says there has to be a federal ban on leisure travel. And important to mention, nearly half of all commercial jetliners are actually parked at the moment. The TSA telling us that only 5% of passengers are passing through checkpoints compared to a year ago.
And the hospital ship sent to New York City to help relieve overburdened hospitals is now back home in Virginia. Hundreds of healthcare workers and other crew members aboard the USNS Comfort arrived in the ship's Norfolk home port after leaving New York Thursday. The vessel spent 31 days in the New York harbor to help relieve the region's healthcare system amid the COVID-19 response. Officials say 182 patients were treated on the ship during its 3.5-week mission. The ship was disinfected before its trip back to Virginia.
And in the wake of sexual assault allegations, former Vice President and presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden says his campaign now considering more than a dozen women for his running mate. In an interview with Al Sharpton, Biden acknowledges that he is under pressure to select an African-American woman in particular, but more than one possible pick fits that description. Biden pledging that if he's elected, he'll make his administration as diverse as our country.
And after speculation over his health, Jong Un was seen for the first time in weeks. That's on the North Korea state media. That's according to them. The North Korean dictator was featured celebrating May Day events. This week, a state-run newspaper released a series of photos they say are of Jong Un at a ribbon-cutting ceremony. And this morning, new reports show gunfire at the North Korean-South Korean border, or historically known as the 30th parallel. The Joint Chiefs of Staff in Seoul say North Korean troops fired several bullets at a South Korean guard post inside the heavily fortified border.
And just days after the birth of UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's son, he and his partner, Carrie Simons, have announced the child's name, Wilfred Laurie Nicholas Johnson. His middle name, Nicholas, is in honor of the two doctors who treated Boris Johnson while he was suffering from the coronavirus just last month. Now, Boris Johnson returning to work this past Monday, spending 3 nights in intensive care in early April before his condition improved. And time now, just about 6:08, 71 degrees out.
And so some parents might use technology to calm down their children when necessary. But still ahead on GMSA, our Leslie Mouton has the details on a study about how too much screen time might affect the development of your kid.
And time to take a look at the stars. A meteor shower is approaching. Next on GMSA, we're going to tell you how and when you can watch it. And we're going to check into Sarah to see if you can actually see it.
Very cool. Taking a look outside with live cam. Feels like a nice break after yesterday afternoon. The hot sun. Well, we went out in it, but I don't know. We still got to get outside, ride the bike. We'll tell you what Sarah has to say about the rest of your weekend. We'll be right back.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. If you are a stargazer, you're going to be a little happier. We have big news. You might actually have a chance to view a meteor shower in the early mornings today and possibly through the week.
Here in the Northern Hemisphere, observers can expect to see between 10 and 30 meteors in just a few minutes. The Eta Aquariid meteor shower is expected to peak on Tuesday, but a nearly full moon could outshine the show.
So apparently May is the best spring month to view meteor activity for those in the Northern Hemisphere. According to the American Meteor Society, that's a fascinating society, the meteor shower expected to peak on the mornings of May 5th and May 6th.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
Well, here's the deal, guys.
Are you about to rain
cloudy.
on our parade?
Yes, of course I am. It's cloudy, so you're not going to be able to see that.
About to rain on a meteor shower?
I am.
Yeah. That's okay.
At least pre-dawn, we are going to be seeing morning clouds through the next few mornings. So unless you happen to get a little patch of clear sky in just the right point, I don't think it's going to happen. But there have been some places that have seen SpaceX satellites kind of going by in the last couple of nights. Now that has since passed. But again, yeah, you can see those clouds out there right now. It's 71 degrees, mostly cloudy outside. A few peaks behind those cloud cover, but still a fairly cloudy morning. Humidity is at 81%, so it's definitely noticeably muggy out there. And here's a look at the satellite image, and you can see that we're getting clouds moving in from the west, high thin cirrus clouds moving in from the west and from the southeast. We're also seeing some clouds as well. So we are expecting to have a bit of a gray start to the day, but it should end up being very nice as we head into the afternoon, at least sunny. It'll definitely be hot, very similar to yesterday's weather. 71 at the airport in San Antonio, 70 in Gonzales, at 67 in Pleasanton, 72 in Carrizo Springs, 76 still in Del Rio. So a very warm start out toward Del Rio, 74 in Laredo. Here's a look at the futurecast. You'll notice that right around 10, we're still going to have some areas of clouds, but watch as we go closer to the lunch hour. Those clouds will start to dissipate, and again, total sunshine in the afternoon. You can see that on the futurecast there. High temperatures today. It's going to be a scorcher, near 100 degrees out toward Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, and Laredo. Here around San Antonio, we'll be in the mid-90s. 93 for the high in New Braunfels, 91 in Kerrville, 92 in Gonzales, and 94 in Beeville. So definitely going to be a hot day. Make sure you get that sunscreen too if you are going to head outside, because like I said, total sunshine in the afternoon. Not quite as breezy as it was last night around San Antonio. Today, we'll have a southeast wind at about 10 miles per hour, and this evening should be nice and comfortable, just a little bit on the muggy side, but pretty mild. So if you are going to enjoy some time outdoors, just know that it'll be a hot one, so plan accordingly. Let's take a look at the weather setup. Across the nation, it is fairly quiet. We do have a few showers in the central plains and even some snowfall up in the mountains in parts of Washington and Oregon. But take a look at this temperature difference across the United States. It's fairly warm for the western section of the U.S., but in the northwest, the eastern section of the U.S., but in the northwest, we do have areas where temperatures are in the 40s and in the 30s. And we're not going to see this cool air for a while, but we will eventually see this cool air around San Antonio in the form of a cool front. Until then, it's going to be hot through the middle of the week with high temperatures in the 90s. That first front will arrive early Wednesday, late Tuesday, allow for our highs to only be in the 80s, but then an even stronger front is expected early Saturday morning, and that's going to knock our high temperatures way down. Our high temperatures will only be in the 70s on Saturday. And as far as rain goes, we're not expecting too much in the way of rain, especially in the upcoming week. It's when that next front arrives on Friday into Saturday that we do have the potential for some areas of light rain, but still, you know, it's going to be an interesting week ahead where we'll start off hot, we'll end off moderate, and then we'll end up on the weekend pretty cool. Max, Stephanie.
I like that, the moderate and the cool part. A good break. Thank you, Sarah.
6:16, 71 degrees out.
And the Avengers are saving the world once again, but this time we're talking about the actual celebrities. Still ahead on GMSA, we're going to tell you more about why Chris Evans is gathering his fellow co-stars.
And could too much screen time affect your child's development later on? Next, what you need to know. Good morning and welcome back. Well, back in 2014, children under the age of 2 years old spent more than 3 hours a day in front of screens, even though the American Academy of Pediatrics recommended no screen time for this age group other than video chatting. My mind was blown when I saw this number.
Not me. Now a new study shows screen time early in life can affect a child's development years later. Our Leslie Mouton has a story.
From tablets to phones to TVs, young children today are very familiar with screens. But a new study shows high levels of screen time may lead to developmental delays. Scientists looked at more than 2,400 moms and their children. They found more screen use, like tablets, television, and computers, at 2 years of age predicted poorer development at 3 years old. And more screen use at age 3 predicted poorer development at 5 years old. Across the board, these kids miss developmental milestones, with delays seen in motor skills, communication, problem solving, and personal social skills. Experts say, make sure you set limits and focus on face-to-face communication with your kids. Leslie Mouton, KSAT 12 News.
All right. So Rooney's 6, your daughter.
Yes.
How much screen time a day?
Oh, I don't know now, but back
Well, now I think there's a good excuse.
Yeah,
because you're distance learning, you literally need the screen.
We're doing a lot of that, and plus it's her social interaction now. Normally I'd be like, get off the phone, but it's the only time she can talk to a child her age is, with Messenger. Yeah, FaceTime.
Nice.
So we'll just tough it out for now, and hopefully we won't have bad effects later.
Time now, 6:21, 71 degrees out.
We are celebrating pets today. It's National Specially Abled Pets Day, shining a spotlight on the needs of pets with disabilities. That's next on GMSA. And we want to wish a happy birthday to Mia. Super cute picture, turning 1. Love the big bow. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And next up, we have Owen. Happy birthday, Owen. He turns 3 years old today. I got a big smile on his face.
Happy birthday.
All right, remember to keep posting your birthday pictures, ksat.com/birthdays, including name and an age. We're watching Good Morning San Antonio. Be right back. Good morning and welcome back. There's always a reason to celebrate. Today is a unique reason.
Yeah.
Animal lovers across the country can rejoice celebrating furry companions, but furry companions with disabilities.
Today is National Specially Abled Pets Day and aims to educate the public about how to care for disabled pets. It also serves as a yearly request to consider adopting a pet with disabilities, especially during this pandemic.
Oh, they're so cute.
I know, I love it. Aww.
All right, so animal advocate and author Colleen Page founded National Specially Abled Pets Day. Aw,
oh, how cute.
So cute. So we have a joke on this show saying that pets in sweaters are undefeated.
Yes.
Disabled pets, even cuter.
I know. I hope they get adopted. Maybe people will get the message and head out.
There you go. All right, Captain America, probably one of my favorite superheroes.
Not as cute, but on the good list.
I bet there's a lot of women around this newsroom and around the country that would argue that.
It's a different type of cute.
Anyway, Captain America assembling the Avengers to save the world, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so Avengers actor Chris Evans, very nice looking guy, is getting his fellow stars from the series to team up for charity. Now, Evans says he's accepting the All-In Challenge. It's an effort to get celebrities to donate items or experiences to ease food insecurity during the pandemic.
Now, Evans offering up a virtual hangout that involves games and a Q&A with co-stars Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, and Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, and Jeremy Renner also joining the chat. So you got all the Avengers.
Yeah, but in person. Yeah. Sort of. Yeah, virtually in
Zoom.
person.
Zoom person.
Zoom person.
Time now, 6:26, 71 degrees out.
And if you or anyone you know looking for a job, listen up. Walmart is hiring and just announced more than $150 million in bonuses. We're going to have the details after the break.
And we have the latest on the coronavirus numbers here in Bexar County, across Texas, and across the country. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back. 6:30 this morning, Sunday, May 3rd.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Happy Sunday.
Did you make it out yesterday?
I did. It was hot.
How was that?
Well, I mean, because we still have a bike,
How's Rooney doing?
She's doing.
Daughter learning how to ride a bike for the first time?
Doing great, doing awesome, but it was so hot. So I was just like, let's look for some shade somewhere. But, we just toughed it out.
Not great news if you don't like the heat.
Yeah.
Sarah calling today a scorcher.
Yeah, it's going to be another scorcher out there. Very similar weather to yesterday. Yesterday we started off with complete cloud cover, and even looking outside right now, we're already seeing some breaks in those clouds. And so it's going to be another hot day. We'll quickly see the sun completely shine through those clouds here. It's 71 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Winds are from the south at about 10 miles per hour. Closer look around the Alamo City, temperature-wise, a mild morning. 66 in Comfort, 67 in Kerrville, 70 in Hondo, 69 in Devine and at Stinson, 71 New Braunfels, 69 in Bulverde, and 70 in Canyon Lake. It's still 76 degrees out toward Del Rio. Hasn't cooled down too much out there. Now, Max and Stephanie, I have a question for you guys. When you guys were kids, did you run around in the sprinkler to keep cool?
Of course.
Yeah, okay, so
Yes.
Today, if you want to allow your kids to go out to run around in the sprinkler, just know that the UV index is going to be very high, so make sure to put some sunscreen on those kiddos and then turn on the sprinkler and let the fun happen, because look how hot it's going to be today. 95 degrees in the afternoon for the high temperature, mostly sunny skies in the afternoon, southeast winds at about 10 miles per hour. So send in the pictures on how you're keeping cool during these hot days to our KSAT Connect feature on the weather app. We'd love to see them and hopefully show them on air. I'll be back though with a look at a cool down in our forecast, and boy do we need one of those. Max, Stephanie?
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, police still searching for a suspect after an early morning shooting at a gas station parking lot that ended with a man in the hospital. Now take a look. This was the scene after 2 a.m. at the Circle K parking lot. This is near Commerce and Couples. Police say 4 adults and a child were in one vehicle. That's when a man in a white car pulled up. An argument ensued. Investigators tell us that suspect, the man in the white vehicle, he pulled out a gun. He actually shot at the vehicle with the 4 people and the child inside. The driver was shot in the leg. He was taken to the hospital. He's expected to recover. The child appeared unharmed. And while police were responding to a call on the south side for a shooting, they made a big bust, a big discovery that ended with 40 people being detained.
It happened at a home located in the 700 block of Grosvenor Street. That's where officers say dozens of people were gambling and putting each other at risk.
Alicia Barrera joining us live downtown with the latest details. Alicia?
Good morning. Well, in total, 40 people were inside one home, which means that they were not following the city's orders to social distance. And what they were doing in that home, well, you've said it, they were gambling. They were on 8-liners. This call came to police around 9 last night in the city's south side. And it originally came for a shooting between 2 relatives, but police were able to rule that out fairly quickly once they arrived to the scene. But they still entered the home, that address that they were giving. When they walked in, they discovered a massive amount of people and 8-liners. In total, police counted 40 8-liners inside the home. We know SAPD's Vice Squad remained at the scene late into last night to begin their investigation. As of now, the owner of the home where those 8-liners has not been identified. Our night beat crew, who was at the scene last night, says one man was escorted away from the property in handcuffs by police, but as of now, no additional information has been provided by officers. We do know that all these people, they received 2 citations. So in total, 40 people, they received a citation for, again, not following city's ordinance for social distance, as well as for illegal gambling. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alicia. 2 San Marcos police officers now out of the hospital after they were injured during a deadly officer-involved shooting just last month. Officer Franco Stewart and Officer Justin Mueller released after being shot on April 18th. That's when they responded to a domestic disturbance call. Now remember, Officer Justin Putnam shot and killed while responding to the same scene. The suspect that we mentioned before found dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound on the scene.
An Austin man is facing charges in connection with a video showing a park ranger being pushed into a river. 25-year-old Brandon Hicks is charged with attempted assault on a public servant. The video surfaced on Reddit on Thursday. Take a look. And that park ranger is seen reminding a group of park goers to keep their distance while near the lake at Commerce Ford Metropolitan Park. One of the individuals can be heard reassuring the ranger. Moments later, the ranger was pushed into the lake, followed by echoes of laughter. Now Hicks is in the Travis County Jail on a $7,500 bond.
And even though we're seeing a scorcher here in San Antonio, spring-like temperatures and ease restrictions across the country, they're bringing new problems for various states and various local governments who are working as hard as they can to curb the pandemic outbreak.
ABC's Ty Hernandez has the details.
April 30th and May 1st mark the deadliest 48 hours in the U.S. fight against COVID-19, according to the World Health Organization. More than 4,900 people died. With COVID-19 cases dropping in some areas, increasing in others, governors across the country are dealing with a difficult decision: when to reopen. In Mississippi, the governor is pausing his plans after the state saw its largest single-day increase, nearly 400 new cases and 20 new deaths.
This was a large enough change to make me take a step back and want to look at the board, to re-examine things. And I've come to the conclusion that I must hold on for now.
Gallup, New Mexico on lockdown as the number of cases there surges. Every road surrounding the city now closed. In Chicago, Mayor Lori Lightfoot with a strong warning for anyone hosting or attending large house parties.
We will shut you down. We will cite you. And if we need to, we will arrest you and we will take you to jail. Period. There should be nothing unambiguous about that. You are risking your own health. You are bringing death to their doorstep.
In New York City, 1,000 additional officers are on patrol to enforce social distancing as the weather turns warm. And in China, where the pandemic originated, U.S. intelligence officials accusing China of deception. A report from the Department of Homeland Security obtained by ABC News says, quote, the Chinese government intentionally concealed the severity of COVID-19 in early January while it stockpiled medical supplies. The report claims they increased imports and decreased exports, choking off supplies to nations in dire need. Chinese officials are pushing back against the allegations. Ty Hernandez, ABC News, New York.
And back here at home, HEB implementing additional limits on meat products for customers as the pandemic continues. Now, the product limits vary at select stores, and it's all in an effort to, quote, protect the supply chain and make sure our customers can find the items they need. End quote. That's what an HEB spokesperson previously told KSAT. HEB customers in the San Antonio area, Central Texas, Gulf Coast, border region, and certain West and North Texas towns, they are now limited to purchasing 5 packages of meat products each. That's according to HEB's website. And for a full list of what you can and can't limit, just head over to KSAT.com.
In your morning headlines, at least 46 people have died in a prison riot in Venezuela. That's according to a National Assembly lawmaker. Now, the riot started on Friday in an alleged escape attempt in the Los Llanos Penitentiary. The lawmaker also confirmed 70 people were injured during that riot. Venezuelan prison officials have not released a statement.
And on top of the trauma of this pandemic, families in Puerto Rico now dealing with the aftermath of an earthquake. So take a look. There it is. This is the damage left behind of a 5.5 magnitude quake that just hit off the coast. Right now, no tsunami advisory put in place. The mayor of the city says that they are still checking up on people and assessing the damage. So now, no word on any injuries.
And in recent days and weeks, we have seen communities come together to honor our medical workers on the front lines. And now we have a new event called America Strong. Take a look. It's a rare joint flyover by the U.S. Navy's Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds of the U.S. Air Force. This is above the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. The two high-performance groups in tight formation. The day began with a flyover in Baltimore before the team showed pride in Washington and East Coast cities. Though the exact time and day have not been announced, the report indicated that the Thunderbirds will soon fly over San Antonio. And many are struggling during this pandemic. Some may have been furloughed or even lost their jobs entirely because of it.
That's why right now is the perfect time to search for jobs in Texas if you're currently among those unemployed or just looking to make a career change.
Since the state is partially reopening businesses, many companies are looking to hire workers. CVS Pharmacy is in need of a pharmacy technician who is at least 16 years old with a high school diploma or equivalent. If you have pharmacy, retail, medical, or customer service experience, that's a plus. Pay is between $10 and $13 an hour. And BBA is hiring for a national sales advisory / personal banker. To get this job, you'll need a high school diploma or GED, but a bachelor's is preferred. In addition, 1 year of proactive sales experience is required. Now, work experience may not substitute for education requirements.
And Branstad General Partner LLC looking for a part-time inbound customer service rep. Pay starts at $12.58 an hour and it goes up to $13.06.
And for more information on these jobs and many others, you can go to workintexas.com.
And time now is 6:40, 71 degrees out.
And reliving Michael Jordan's days with the Chicago Bulls coming up when you can watch the next episode of the new docu-series, The Last Dance.
So excited. Seriously, it is the highlight of my Monday mornings. It's great.
Neat.
Plus, putting a pause on parenthood, why a new study says millennials are waiting to have children.
And taking a look outside with live cam, I will step outside and enjoy the 71.
You can feel the humidity just looking at the screen.
Yeah, but at least it's not in the 90s yet. So we're going to check in with Sarah to see when we will see those 90s in just a bit. And welcome back. It is 6:44. Walmart says it has made good on its promise to hire 200,000 people during the pandemic. Now, the company announced since March 19th, it has hired thousands of employees to work in stores and distribution centers. According to a press release, Walmart has also paid $180 million in cash bonuses to hourly workers. Walmart says it plans to conduct health screenings, daily temperature checks, and provide protective gear to keep its employees safe.
And this is the story we were talking about earlier. According to new research, a lot of younger people waiting to have children for one big reason: money.
Yeah. Researchers surveyed more than 2,000 people about putting a pause on parenthood. The participants were between the ages of 20 and 45. The study was made by Modern Fertility and SoFi. Now, they found 60% of those who were waiting to have children were doing it because they did not feel like they had enough money. 51% said they wanted to make a higher salary first. Well, makes sense.
You know what? I don't think anyone has to justify that.
I get it.
As a millennial, I will be the first to say, yeah, it would be nice to have a comfortable income and a house.
Yes.
That's true.
Most
it would
definitely.
be nice to do that. But hopefully you got some AC where you're at, because this is a look at high temperatures yesterday. It was 95 degrees in San Antonio for the high, but out toward Del Rio, 102, 100 in Carrizo Springs, 100 in Cotulla. Now, I'm showing you this because the weather is going to be very similar today. In fact, I've forecast a high of 95 for the day. And as we take a wider view here, you can see that the heat extended all the way up into the panhandle of Texas, too. 100 was the high in Lubbock, 104 in Midland, 100 in Abilene. The reason for this is a big old heat high currently over Mexico. And that heat high is still going to be in the picture today. And that's why we'll continue to see the heat not only today, but through Tuesday, before the arrival of our first front in the forecast. So we've got a lot to talk about. First, let's take a look at this morning's sunrise. We started off with complete cloud cover, but as we're seeing the first light of the day here, what you'll notice is that these clouds are already starting to thin out. And we're going to be seeing quickly, as we head into the lunch hour, total sunshine. So it's going to be a sunny and muggy day. Dew points are in the mid 60s. Once we get a dew point above 60 degrees, that's when you notice the humidity in the air, and you'll notice it all day today, all day tomorrow, and all day Tuesday as well. On the satellite imagery, I showed you the time lapse, but you can see even more from space that these clouds are starting to break up already around the Alamo City. It's 71 degrees in San Antonio, 71 in New Braunfels, a little cooler up in the hill country, but still muggy, 66 in Kerrville and in Rock Springs. Still warm out in Del Rio, 76 degrees, 72 in Beeville, and 71 in Cotulla. Now, looking ahead to the planning forecast, notice that this forecasting model does keep a few clouds out there by about 10, but right at around the lunch hour, again, we totally clear out. And so it's going to be a sunny and hot day. We'll already be in the 80s by noon, and then in the afternoon, 95 for the high right around 5 o'clock. Yesterday, it was pretty windy in the evening hours. Not going to be the case today, but we are going to see a breeze from the southeast at about 10 miles per hour, and then we'll gradually cool back down into the 70s by midnight tonight with partly cloudy skies. Stephanie, this is the forecast I wanted you to pay attention to. Tomorrow is May the 4th. Star Wars Day, because of May the 4th be with you. And so for tomorrow's forecast, look, it's going to kill the Death Star.
Aww.
There you go. Tomorrow, it'll be 95 with morning clouds and afternoon sun. Very similar forecast to today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the 7-day forecast. Isolated rain is possible on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's when we see our first front move through. Our high temperatures will fall into the 80s rather than the 90s. Then an even stronger front is possible on Friday night into Saturday. That'll drop our highs into the 70s. And it looks like we'll start the weekend with areas of light rain. Stephanie, Max, May the 4th be with you.
Aw, thank you. May the 4th also be with you. That's super cool. I love the graphic. She told me to expect a surprise, and she did not disappoint. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. 6:49, 71 degrees out.
And diving into the world of basketball with one of the greatest of all time. Up next, what you can expect in the 5th part of the Last Dance docu-series.
It is episode 5 and 6 tonight. I am so excited, waiting a whole week for it.
And
also excited to take a look outside of roadways nice and calm out there. Not too much going on. Not too much going on there at I-37 and Houston. There's I-10 and I-35. Not many people out and about, but if you do hit the roads, make sure to be safe, drive smart. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back. In somewhat of a big mix-up in the NFL world. Yes, we get to talk sports right now. It's great. Well, he was released by the Cincinnati Bengals. They had the first pick in the NFL draft, picking Joe Burrow, the national champion and Heisman winner. So what to do with your old quarterback? You release him. They got rid of Andy Dalton. They saved some money. He's officially a free agent. A lot of skepticism of where he would go. Not many people thought that number 14 would end up in the NFC East. And here we are. He is officially a Cowboy as of this morning. Andy Dalton, 1-year deal, $7 million, $3 million guaranteed. Fun fact, he is a Katy, Texas native. He played on that TCU team, and he got him to a Rose Bowl. He was a second-round pick, played on the Bengals for a few years, and now he is Dak Prescott's backup for the time being.
Now to basketball. The Last Dance, a 10-part documentary series, will continue with episodes 5 and 6 today at 8 p.m. The episodes will be released every Sunday on ESPN and ESPN2 through May 17th. The 10-part documentary series, The Last Dance, covers Michael Jordan and the 1990 Chicago Bulls dynasty with a focus on their 1997-98 championship season. The 5th episode will pay tribute to the late Los Angeles Lakers legend Kobe Bryant. Should be interesting. I've only seen clips. I wish to sit down and see the whole thing in its entirety, but my experience is just going in and out of the room and seeing Luis watch it. So hopefully I will. Yes, Luis, my husband. Yes.
So, fun fact about Luis, your husband, he has the MJ basketball shoes.
Yes.
And the red and black versions, and they're fantastic.
Courtesy of, hello.
Yeah,
me.
great present. Fantastic present.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I suspect that's why he's so good.
You're welcome.
Just throwing it out there. 6:54, 71 degrees out. Be like Mike.
Yeah. Speaking of birthdays, that was his birthday present. Happy birthday to Christina, 11 years old. Oh, cool tie, kind of like Harry Potter. Happy birthday. And I want to wish a happy birthday to Elizabeth. Cute pic, 3 years old. I love the pretty pink bows. Enjoy your weekend. Keep sending your birthday pictures to ksat.com/birthdays. Remember to include a name and an age. We show them every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right here on GMSA. In the news you need to know before you go, one man was hit and killed by another driver after an SUV stalled out on the highway. Now, it happened last night on I-10 under UTSA Boulevard. That's when police say a pickup truck heading eastbound on I-10 crashed into that stopped SUV. Investigators say the driver inside that SUV died on impact. Now, the driver of the pickup was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are ruling this an accident, and they tell us that alcohol was not a factor. Another woman tried to avoid the wreck. She lost control of her vehicle and crashed, but only suffered minor injuries.
And police searching for a suspect after an early morning shooting at a gas station parking lot, and it ended with a man in the hospital. So take a look. This was the scene around 2 a.m. This is the Circle K parking lot near Commerce and Couples. Police say 4 adults and a child were in one vehicle when a man in a white car pulled up. That's when an argument ensued. Investigators tell us the suspect, the man in the white vehicle, pulled out a gun. He actually shot at that vehicle with the 4 people and the child inside. The driver hit in the leg. He was taken to the hospital. They're expected to recover. We're also told that the child inside appeared unharmed.
A mild morning out there at 71 degrees at the airport. Elsewhere at 67 in Helotes, 66 in Comfort, 70 in Canyon Lake, and 72 in New Braunfels, 67 down in Pleasanton, 74 in Del Rio. That'll go down as our morning lows, and we are seeing some sunshine out there through those clouds, but these clouds are going to stick around in the morning hours here. But by the afternoon, mostly sunny skies, 95 degrees for the high, a southeast breeze at about 10 miles per hour. It's going to be a hot one. It's going to be hot tomorrow and on Tuesday as well, but our first front arrives early Wednesday, knocking our highs down into the 80s, and then another front arrives on Saturday. That'll knock our highs down into the 70s. As far as rain, isolated isolated here and there, but it does look like we could see some more light rain on Saturday. But again, that is kind of just outside of our 20/20 vision. So you'll want to keep on checking in with the KSAT weather app, because we'll be able to update you as soon as we update the forecast.
Well, we will check in for those changes.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hot May 4th.
Yeah, how are you going to stay cool today, Steph? How's Rooney going to stay cool?
We're probably just going to look for shade, because we're going to tough it out on the bike again.
I think that's a good idea.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. We will see you back here 1 hour.
8 o'clock. See you then.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A late night crash on I-10 ends with one driver dead. Right now on GMSA, how police say it all happened and the latest on the others involved.
Plus, new shopping limits the next time you go to HEB. We're talking about packages of meat and how much you are allowed to buy and why. And taking a live look out at the Alamo City, lots of clouds, 72 degrees to start your Sunday morning, but it is going to shoot up in the temperatures. Sarah's telling us it is going to be a scorcher out there. We're going to check in with her in just a few moments. Good morning. I'm Max Massey.
Good morning. I'm Stephanie Cerna. Thanks for joining us. It is Sunday, May 3rd, almost May 4th.
May the
Star
4th
Wars
be
Day.
with you.
May the 4th be with you.
And Sarah, may the 4th be with you as well.
Except it's May the 3rd.
Yeah.
So
We don't get to do this tomorrow,
That's
though.
true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll get in the Star Wars spirit, don't you worry. But right now outside we are starting to see that cloud deck break apart with a few peaks of sunshine. You can see that as we take a look outside with live cam. It is going to be a really sunny day in the afternoon. Honestly, a very similar forecast to yesterday. 72 degrees outside right now, mostly cloudy skies, humidity at a balmy 78%, and winds are from the south at 10 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the satellite imagery. You can see that there are areas that are dealing with complete sunshine at the moment, and then there are areas that are dealing with completely overcast skies. We'll zoom into Bexar County, south side of Bexar County from Von Army to Elmendorf, actually seeing a little bit more sun than the rest of Bexar County right now. Some sunshine out toward Canyon Lake, but it's still fairly cloudy around Seguin and around Gonzales and Floresville as well. It's fairly cloudy out toward Uvalde, Lakey, Bandera, and Kerrville. Right now this morning, temperatures are on the mild side at 72 degrees in San Antonio, 69 in Bulverde, 68 in Helotes, 71 in Canyon Lake, 73 in New Braunfels, 70 in Stinson, and 67 in Comfort. But today, it's Sunday. You know what that means for a lot of people, grilling outside. So if you are going to grill, just know that we're quickly going to see the sun shine through in the afternoon. It'll be hot. In fact, it'll be humid and muggy, 95 degrees for the high temperature, southeast winds at 10 miles per hour. But the good news is, if you're not a fan of the hot weather, we've got 2 cold fronts in the forecast this upcoming week. I'll be back with a look at those ups and downs and the temperatures in a few minutes.
Thank you, Sarah. We are following the latest numbers involving the confirmed coronavirus cases here in Bexar County. But before we get to those numbers, because of COVID-19, normal operations for businesses and even nonprofits, they've seen a lot of effects.
Resources for the homeless are even more limited than before, which is why volunteers with Corazon Ministries believe that now more than ever, helping hands are needed.
Alicia Barra joins us live downtown at the Resource Hub, where food preparations are now underway. Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning. Well, definitely the flow of how things are working out for the homeless community have changed, but people are pushing through, and really what you need are these volunteers. They're the ones that are really helping make this happen. So I wanted to show you first off how you can volunteer with Travis Park Church and Corazon Ministries. You're going to go to that website, cmi-loveandjustice.org. You're going to click on COVID-19 resources up here at the top left, and then it will take you to their resources. If you want to volunteer, you're just going to scroll down and you'll see their Sign Up Genius page, and there it'll actually show you what shifts are still open. So here we see a 10:30 to 1:30. It's so needed. Gavin Rogers with Travis Park Church, Corazon Ministries. How important is it for people to help out right now? Because y'all are serving so many
That's right.
in the homeless community.
Yeah, we serve about 900 a week at this hub, and then around the other hubs around the city, that's about the same amount of number combined. So there's thousands and thousands of people that need warm meals and care and hygiene kits and cleaning supplies. So it's really important to volunteer at those homeless hubs, and that sign-up genius can connect you to all the homeless hubs that the city of San Antonio runs.
And how are you all helping make sure that the homeless community stays safe through all of this? What are they being offered right now?
Yeah, at each homeless hub, plus partnering organizations, they provide hand washing stations, sanitation, alcohol for your hands. So that's what we do each and every day.
And then food right now, y'all are prepping, but then also getting donations. We just saw one big donation come in.
That's right. We cook 4 times a week, but the 3 times that we don't cook, local restaurants have come and supported us, and we've actually been able to support those industry workers that have possibly been laid off. And so to keep the economy going, we've invited restaurants to help participate and either provide the food bank food to them, or sometimes they cook their own food.
And then right now, prepping the food here, but after that, we're headed to a different location.
That's right. None of the feeding is happening inside at the Travis Park Church. We go to the official city hub, which is down the street near Santa Rosa Hospital.
Gavin, thank you so much. So again, you heard it there. This is where they're prepping the food. We see some scrambled eggs, pigs in a blanket, donut, a lot for the homeless community that they're going to be receiving. Also that hygiene kit. So we want to show you more of what's going on here at Travis Park Church. But later on this morning, stick with us because we're going to be headed to that resource center. Reporting live in downtown, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Alicia. Now let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers here in Bexar County. Another day of new confirmed cases in the triple digits. The most recent test results show 1,585 people testing positive for the virus. That's an increase of more than 100 cases in just one day. Important to mention, though, 65 of those new cases are from the Bexar County Jail alone. 43 are community spread. Luckily, no new deaths reported. That total remains at 48 this morning.
There is a new drive-through testing site that will run Monday through Thursday in Somerset. The Texas National Guard will help run that testing site at the Somerset Multi-Purpose Center from 9 in the morning until 5 p.m. Now that's in addition to the 4 other testing sites which are on your screen. You must have symptoms to get tested, and we have all that information on our website at KSAT.com.
Shifting our focus to where the coronavirus all began this morning, ABC News obtaining an intelligence report that shows China actually hid the extent of the epidemic from the rest of the world.
ABC's Rachel Scott shares why government officials believe China did this to stock up on crucial medical supplies.
This morning, U.S. intelligence officials are accusing China of a coronavirus cover-up. A new report from the Department of Homeland Security, obtained by ABC News, claims the Chinese government intentionally concealed the severity of COVID-19 in early January. During that time, officials say China was also building out its own stockpile of medical supplies and took steps to protect it. On January 14th, the WHO shared this tweet saying China saw no evidence of human-to-human transmission of the coronavirus. But according to the report, as the country cornered off supplies, there was a significant drop in exports, disrupting the global supply chain for nations that needed those essential items most. Homeland Security analysis states China produces about 80% of the world's surgical face masks, but 48% fewer were shipped out. Gloves were down 48%, and exported ventilators dropping 45%. President Trump, who once praised their handling of the outbreak,
President Xi loves the people of China. He loves his country, and he's doing a very good job with a very, very tough situation.
Is now stepping up his attacks, last week placing the blame on China.
We are not happy with China. We are not happy with that whole situation because we believe it could have been stopped at the source. It could have been stopped quickly, and it wouldn't have spread all over the world.
And back here at home, HEB is going to start limiting meat products in an effort of what they say, quote, protect the supply chain and make sure customers can find the items they need, end quote. Now, HEB customers in the San Antonio area, Central Texas, Gulf Coast, border region, and certain West and North Texas towns will now only be allowed to purchase up to 5 packages of meat products each. This is all according to HEB's website. The meat products can range from fresh beef, ground beef, chicken, pork, and turkey. 5 packages of meat products are a combined total, and customers are not allowed to buy 5 of each.
New this morning, one man was hit and killed on the highway after his SUV stalled out. Now, it happened around 10:30 last night on I-10 under UTSA Boulevard. That's when police say a pickup truck heading eastbound on I-10 crashed into the stopped SUV, killing the driver inside. Now, the driver of the pickup was taken to the hospital but is expected to be okay. Police are ruling this an accident and tell us alcohol was not a factor. Another woman driving on the highway tried to avoid the wreck but lost control of her vehicle and crashed as well. We're told she is also expected to be okay.
And police still searching for a suspect after an early morning shooting at a gas station parking lot, and it ended with a man in the hospital. So take a look at your screen. This was the scene after 2 a.m. Actually, this is the hospital where they were sent to. Now, it started a scene just after 2 a.m. at the Circle K parking lot near Commerce and Couples. Police say 4 adults and a child were in a vehicle when a man in a white vehicle pulled up. An argument ensued. Investigators tell us that the suspect pulled out a gun and actually shot at that vehicle with 4 people and a child inside. The driver was shot in the leg. He was taken to the hospital. He's expected to recover. The child appeared unharmed.
San Antonio police are looking for a shooter who they say killed 2 people yesterday. Now, it happened at an apartment complex in the 1700 block of Jackson Keller Road. Police say they were initially responding to a call for an injured person, but when they got there, they found 2 victims shot dead. Now, Police Chief William McManus describes the incident as a drug deal that, quote, went sideways, end quote. There are currently no leads on any suspects, and the victims were 2 men in their mid-20s.
And a Southside illegal gambling ring bust ends with 40 people being detained. Authorities say this all started as a call for a shooting, and that's what led to the discovery of this secret operation. Officers responding to the home in the 700 block of Grosvenor Drive, Grosvenor Street, around 9 last night. They found no one had actually been shot. No one was injured. And after going into the home, authorities found 40 people using 48-liner gambling machines. Officials issued citations to all 40 people violating the city's ordinance for social distancing and for, of course, illegal gambling. Now, details are limited, but the investigation is still ongoing. We're going to bring you more updates as more info becomes available. And time now, 8:11, 72 degrees out.
And 1 million free smoothies. We're going to tell you where you can get those smoothies just ahead.
Plus, Game of Thrones actor, much more than just an actor, he set a new world record lifting weights. We're going to tell you about it and show you the video. It's actually insane.
That's cool. Not only strong on screen. Very good.
Look at that. Just beautiful. Well done.
Taking a look outside with live cam. Beautiful shot out there. It's going to be a hot one. That's a warning. We're going to check in with Sarah, though, for your full details in just a bit. I miss that music. So the last time we saw the San Antonio Spurs out on the court, they were going head-to-head with the Dallas Mavericks, beating them with a final score of 119-109. That was Tuesday, March 10th. 2 days later, the NBA season was put on hold due to COVID-19. And here we are 7 weeks later and still no basketball. So Spurs fans, they missed the silver and black, and the Spurs also missed their fans. So during a Zoom interview with Spurs CEO R.C. Buford, said that the league's current mission is to keep everyone safe, fans and players, and return when there is enough information available. Go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go. Can't forget that part. Also in the sports world this week, a major world record broken by an actor, kind of. A man best known for his role as the Mountain in HBO's Game of Thrones. Hafthor Bjornsson deadlifting. Oh, I wanted to see the video.
Maybe later?
There's no video. This is so disheartening.
Oh, no, you're right. Absolutely no video.
This is so frustrating. Anyway, so here's the thing. He deadlifted 1,104.5 pounds. You can't forget about the 0.5 pounds. Also, his name's Hafthor. It should be Full Thor. That sets a new high water mark in the sport. The actor posted the video to his Instagram account after the feat, ESPN sharing it to Twitter. He said it was an amazing day, one he's going to remember for the rest of his life. He's from Iceland, and he's a star in the World's Strongest Man competition.
Oh.
He finished no worse than 3rd place every year since 2012. He even won the title in 2018. So Sarah Spivey, what do you think? 1,000 pounds? You think you can pick it up?
Didn't know that.
To the no. In fact, I strained my back muscles trying to take my groceries to my car in one go.
Well, that's no.
Like too lazy.
I have this argument with people all the time. I refuse to take more than one trip from the car
I'm the
to
same
the
way.
apartment. Yeah, it's one trip.
That's how I was too, but I suffered the consequences.
Got to be careful.
So, way to go.
So what you're saying is
Outdoor.
you're training for the woman's strongest competition.
Iceland produces a lot of strong people too, because there's a woman from Iceland and she's the strongest woman in the world.
Oh.
It's pretty impressive.
That is impressive. We have to check it on
It's not Sarah
Instagram.
Spivey because she can't even
Not
get
yet.
groceries. No, it's not going to happen. Let's take a look outside, and you can see that we are seeing a few peaks of sunshine through those clouds. These clouds are going to be out of here by the afternoon. It'll be a very sunny day. 72 degrees outside right now. Humidity, you'll notice it, 78%. Winds are from the south at about 10 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the satellite in a broader view there. You can see the clouds kind of moving in from the west for areas in Rock Springs, Uvalde, Eagle Pass, Kerrville, and up toward Bandera. Here around Bexar County, we've actually got a patch of clearer skies out south of San Antonio between Von Ormy and Elmendorf, and a few peaks of sunshine elsewhere. But we are going to hang on to these morning clouds through the mid-morning hours, and then by the afternoon, it'll be sunny. It's nice and humid outside right now, and in fact, it feels pretty mild. 72 in San Antonio, 70 in Bulverde, 68 at Bernie Stage Airfield, 69 in Kerrville, 68 in Bandera, 71 in Hondo, and 70 in Devine. Yesterday, Del Rio was well into the triple digits, and this morning they're the warmest spot on our KSAT 12 viewing area at 74 degrees. Couple of coastal plain areas a little bit warmer. And now on our futurecast, notice that this is 10 o'clock in the morning, so we're still going to have some clouds out there, but by the lunch hour, those clouds should dissipate, and we'll be looking at total sunshine in the afternoon. Take a look at these forecast high temperatures today. 95 in San Antonio, but it's going to be even warmer once again out toward Del Rio, Eagle Pass, 100 degrees, triple digit mark there, down toward Laredo as well. It'll be near 93 New Braunfels, 92 in Gonzales. So I don't know about you all, but when I was a kid and I wanted to cool down, my parents would turn on the sprinkler and I would go and jump through the sprinklers. If you want to turn on the sprinklers for the kids today, just know that the UV index is going to be very high because in the afternoon we'll have mostly sunny skies. So that means skin damage time within about 15 minutes. So make sure to put on that sunscreen on those kiddos and make sure they really prepare for a pretty warm afternoon. It's going to be hot and muggy, 95 degrees, mostly sunny skies, southeast winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. I mean, even at noon we'll already be in the 80s. But it's not going to stay hot for too long. It'll stay hot for the first part of the week. But taking a look at our weather setup across the nation, it's fairly quiet. A couple of storms across the Central Plains and New England, and that's about it. Most of us are enjoying some mild weather from here in San Antonio, even all the way up to New York City and Washington, D.C. But you can see very clearly where the colder portion of the U.S. is across the Rockies and out across the Pacific Northwest. We're going to tap into this cooler weather by the middle of the week. And in fact, we'll get two cool fronts in this upcoming week. Notice it'll stay hot through Tuesday. Then we get that frontal move through. On Wednesday, we'll be in the 80s, a little bit less humidity, going to be pretty nice. And then before we get too warm again, we'll see another front that'll move through Friday night into Saturday. That'll drop our highs down into the 70s for the weekend and bring us a shot at some light rain. Again, the best chance for rain in the forecast is actually on Saturday. Other than that, we'll just have a few isolated showers and potentially a few isolated storms with the passage of that front between Tuesday and Wednesday, and then again on Friday. So it's going to be an interesting weather week. We'll start off hot, then we'll be warm, and then we'll be relatively cool by the weekend. Max, Stephanie?
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. 8:21, 72 degrees out.
One for you, one for me. After the break, find out where you can get a free smoothie here in San Antonio.
Good morning and welcome back. A great morning if you're a fan of Smoothie. We have some big news for you.
Yeah, 1 million Americans will get the chance to grab one for free thanks to a Smoothie Chains giveaway.
That's right. Tropical Smoothie Cafe says it wants to give its guests a refreshing, momentary escape during this crisis.
That's right. So once it hits the goal of giving away 1 million smoothies, the company plans to donate $100,000 to the American Nurses Foundation's COVID-19 response fund.
So last month, the chain delivered nearly 200,000 free smoothies to first responders on the front line of the pandemic. There are 3 locations right here in San Antonio. If you have any questions and if you want to find those free smoothies, just head to freesmoothies.com. Simple enough.
I know. I looked it up during the break. There's one off of 151 in Petranco, which is kind of close to my mom's house. So I'm like,
There you go. Get yourself a free smoothie today.
I hope they have drive-through.
You've earned it. 825, 72 degrees out.
And a man accused of pushing a Texas Ranger into a river in Austin. How this happened, that's just ahead on GMSA.
And amid this pandemic, a lot of seniors have been left wondering what is going to happen to their graduation ceremony. If you're a graduating senior or you know one, we have these answers for you.
And let's take a look at some birthdays this weekend. I want to wish a happy birthday to Michaela, 18 years old. Happy birthday.
And next up is Aiden, 9 years old. Happy birthday. Remember to keep posting your birthday pictures to KSAT.com/birthdays. Include a name and an age. We share them every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right here on GMSA. Good morning and welcome back. I'm Max Massey.
I'm Stephanie Cerna. Thanks for joining us and happy Sunday, and hope you get a chance to enjoy lots of sunshine and heat.
Lots of heat, lots of humidity, right, Sarah?
Yeah.
That's exactly right, guys. In fact, the weather is going to be very similar to yesterday. So if you didn't like the heat yesterday, I'm sorry you're going to get it again today and tomorrow and the next day, but there is some hope for a cool down in the forecast. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, I want to talk about the pollen count, which we just got in. It's the best looking pollen count we've seen in a few days. Mold continues to fall and is low at 390. Grass and pecan are barely even there. They're low at 10. So again, that's a pretty nice pollen count there for us. So if you do want to enjoy the heat outside, you shouldn't really have too many issues with allergens. Taking a look at temperatures out there this morning, it is on the mild side, 72 degrees in San Antonio, just a smidge cooler up in the hill country where it's in the 60s in Rock Springs and Kerrville this morning. Elsewhere, 74 in Del Rio, 72 Carrizo Springs, and 73 in New Braunfels. Here's a look at the picture outside right now. We had complete cloud cover just about an hour ago or so, and you can see that the sun is starting to shine through those clouds. Those clouds are breaking up, and they will continue to break up so that we have complete sunshine in the afternoon. Humidity is high at 78%, and we've got a south wind at 10 miles per hour. A lot of us have been taking advantage of the stay-at-home work-safe orders by enjoying some time with a walk outside, maybe with your family or with your furry friend. And so for Fido's forecast today, if you're going to take the dog for a walk, just know that in the afternoon, that's when it's going to get pretty hot and uncomfortable outside. Right around 5, that's when we'll see our high temperature, 95 degrees. Until then, though, we'll gradually be seeing the skies clear and the thermometer rise. And late tonight should be pretty comfortable outside in the 80s and mostly clear skies. I'll be back to talk about the drop in temperatures coming up in our forecast. We get 2 cold fronts this week. Max, Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. Shutdowns and safety precautions now making volunteers stay at home. But the downside is services for the marginalized and the homeless now limited.
Some organizations are still doing their best to make sure that the communities they've served for years do not feel forgotten.
Corazon Ministries continuing with their Sunday meal distribution at Travis Park for the homeless community. Our Alicia Rivera joins us live there with more.
Good morning. Well, now we're about 5-6 blocks down from Travis Park Church, and over there, usually on Sundays, what you would see.
But every Monday we do
Chick-fil-A
the meal
distribution, but also
Chick-fil-A comes
kind of like
and sets up their whole
clinic
thing.
Where the homeless
Saturdays,
community can go in for a doctor's appointment. But right now, that's been reduced to just prescription refills. So right here, you
Saturdays,
see this line,
dry goods,
and they are so ready. They are so excited. Actually, recognize one gentleman, Cornelius, that I met back in November with Travis Park Church. But these are the social distance markers that they have in order to be able to receive their meal. But another cool thing that they're going to be receiving are those hygiene kits. We have Gavin Rogers with Travis Park Church over here. Gavin, what's going to be inside those hygiene kits that they're able to pick up today?
Each hygiene kit is different, but today there's some socks, there's some cleaning supplies, there's a towel, toothbrush, toothpaste, hand sanitizer, shampoo, and they'll receive a mask if they need one additionally.
And we have seen some of them without that mask. And then another cool thing that you have over here that's been provided, that hand sanitizer. How is it that y'all are able to get a hold of that?
I don't know. That's a good question. The city of San Antonio provides that, and we have great people from Central San Antonio, the volunteers, the ambassadors in the yellow shirts. They come out when we serve, and they'll spray everybody's hands.
And today also they're going to be getting those meals, right? Those are on their way?
They're on their way, so they'll be serving the food right there under that blue tent at 9 o'clock.
And again, about how many people are y'all expecting to be able to serve today?
Yeah, Sunday mornings it's probably around 120 to 180 people.
And has that increased in comparison to when COVID, before the COVID shutdown?
It has, in the sense that we've seen increases of overall homeless in downtown between all the hubs. Now, because we have multiple hubs, we spread that population out.
Gavin, thank you so much for being with us today and providing this information. Again, the call for volunteers.
That's right. You can go to our website at Corazon Ministries website, and you can sign up to the citywide sign-up genius.
Thank you so much. So again, that need for volunteers, very important here today. I'm struggling with this mask, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that since we're walking away. But again, was able to speak to some of the homeless community already in line. The meal distribution doesn't begin till 9 a.m. We showed up here just to look around the area before 7 a.m. and there were already people in line. So you can just imagine how important this is for them. Reporting live in downtown, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alicia. Here in Bexar County, the number of confirmed coronavirus cases sits at 1,585. That's an increase of more than 100 from the last daily briefing. Important to mention, the majority of the new confirmed cases stem from the jail, where the mayor says testing has ramped up. This pandemic has a huge effect on all of our lives, whether you're working at home, in school, or graduating. Many have been left wondering when, how, and if their graduation are going to happen. Several school districts in and around San Antonio continuing to prepare for 2020 seniors to walk on the stage or at least get some sort of recognition for their hard-earned milestone. Some schools still planning for a traditional ceremony in June, while others are considering going virtual. Unfortunately, it seems as though it could be determined on where we stand during this pandemic. So right now on KSAT.com, you can look up your student's school district for their tentative graduation plans. All you have to do is type in the keyword education and class of 2020. The list will be updated as more districts announce their plans. And millions of Americans already have their $1,200 stimulus check in their bank accounts, but a lot of people still don't. And there's a few reasons why that could be. First, it might mean you don't qualify because you make too much money. Undocumented workers, including those who pay taxes with an individual taxpayer identification number, are also ineligible, as well as anyone who could be claimed as a dependent for tax purposes, like a lot of college students. But it could simply mean the IRS is still processing your 2019 tax return. It may also mean that the IRS hasn't added your data to the tool just yet. But here's the thing. Maybe you've seen a payment status not available message and need more information message. Well, this is actually better for you because it means that you do qualify for the payment. Just the IRS does not have your bank information on file, and the tool will prompt you to input that information. If you don't, a paper check will be sent to the address the agency has on file from your 2019 or 2018 tax return. And if you see an error message, you might just need to verify who you are to the IRS.
And if you plan on going out during the pandemic now that some restaurants and stores are open, you want to do that safely. The best way to curb the spread of COVID-19 is to stay home if you can. Experts say to remember this isn't an immediate return to normalcy after health officials have warned that reopening now could mean a resurgence of the virus. So here are a few tips to stay safe. First, try not to visit any of these places at all, but if you choose to visit a non-essential place, then avoid the rest to limit your exposures to other people. So if you go out to eat, opt to sit outdoors. Beaches and parks, maintain distance from others. Just don't try sunbathing or lounging, and know when it's too crowded to stay. Lastly, when at the gym, choose machines that are far apart from each other. Think like 2 or 3 treadmills apart, at least 6 feet, and wipe them down and avoid group classes.
Well, 2020 is a census year and an important time to make sure that we are all counted. Our community has responded. Now, San Antonio actually ranking the best major Texas city to have responded to the U.S. 2020 census. Mayor Ron Nirenberg says more than half of San Antonians participating in the census. The statewide self-response rate actually at 50.3%. San Antonio better than that, 52.1%. Bexar County even better than that, 53.7%. So people who have not yet completed the census, make sure to do so as quickly as possible. Your count has huge implications on local funding, projects, schools, taxes, and so much more.
An Austin man is facing charges after a video of him pushing a park ranger into a river was posted online. 25-year-old Brandon Hicks is charged with attempted assault on a public servant. The video surfaced on Reddit on Thursday. Now, in that video, you can see the park ranger is seen reminding a group of park goers to keep their distance while near the lake at Commons Ford Metropolitan Park. That's when one of the individuals can be heard reassuring the ranger. Now, moments later, the ranger was pushed into the lake, followed by echoes of laughter. Hicks remains in the Travis County Jail on a $7,500 bond. And top congressional leaders are, quote, respectfully declining President Donald Trump's administration's offer for more COVID-19 tests for lawmakers. That's according to a joint statement out yesterday from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The U.S. Senate will be back in session Monday, and many of its members are vulnerable to coronavirus complications due to age or pre-existing conditions. Now, while tests are limited, officials were able to round up 1,000 tests to give Congress. Pelosi and McConnell say they're grateful for the offer, but they want those tests to go to people on the front lines of the healthcare battle.
Meanwhile, President Donald Trump taking to Twitter disputing the Capitol physician's assessment about limited tests. He tweeted, quote, no reason to turn it down except politics. We have plenty of testing. Maybe you need a new doctor over there. Crazy Nancy will use it as an excuse not to show up to work, end quote. Now, the House was supposed to return to Washington this Monday.
And after speculation over his health, Kim Jong Un was seen for the first time in weeks. The North Korean dictator was featured celebrating May Day events. This week, a state-run newspaper released a series of photos they say are of Kim Jong Un at a ribbon-cutting ceremony. And this morning, new reports show gunfire at the North Korean-South Korean border, or historically known as the 38th parallel. The Joint Chiefs of Staff in Seoul says that North Korean troops fired several bullets at South Korean Guard post inside the heavily fortified border.
Time now is 8:40, 72 degrees out.
And still ahead on GMSA, the solution that a family in Michigan came up with after not being able to go to the zoo.
And this is actually something I tweeted about yesterday in the midst of 2020, a new type of hornet, at least new to me. It's called the murder hornet. We're going to tell you about it coming up next.
Scary.
As if we didn't have enough going on.
Yeah, 2020, what an interesting year so far. Looking out at live cam, looking okay, looking nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, looking interesting.
We saw some sunshine earlier. Maybe it'll come back.
I think it will. We're going to check in with Sarah in just a bit. And welcome back. It's 8:45. So a deadly species of hornets commonly found in Japan has made its way to the United States for the very first time. Scared?
Just deadly hornets, not a big deal. So New York Times report states that this deadly hornet, commonly referred to as the murder hornet, should mention, can kill up to 50 people a year. And that's why it has the name murder hornet. So take a look at this. If you don't like bees, please enjoy.
Asian giant hornets, or otherwise known as murder hornets, were first discovered in the U.S. last fall in Washington state.
2 sightings of the insect, already 2 confirmed in January this year in Washington. The insects, geez, how big is like a normal bee? Like a couple centimeters?
Yeah, you know.
Well, this one, 1.5 to 2 inches big, black and yellow stripes, and a large orange head.
Well, at least you can see it, so you can run away or hit it.
Okay, keep going.
These giant hornets are the largest of its species in the world, and officials say they are worried that their presence could have a devastating effect on the United States bee population. You can read more about it on our website. That's at KSAT.com.
So I was reading the New York Times article yesterday. Not only is all of that true, but they also have big, like, pinchers.
Pincers?
Yes.
Yeah. It's terrifying. And then, like, they told this story about this beekeeper that was looking for him. He was worried about his bees. I'm worried about my life. And he was like looking for him. He had the full bee suit on, and they bit through the bee suit.
Yeah, it's a big.
Nope, I had goosebumps throughout that whole thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? The heat has been bad the last couple of days, but especially yesterday. Take a look at the high temperatures yesterday. 95 degrees in San Antonio. Meanwhile, out toward Del Rio and Carrizo Springs and Cotulla, temperatures soared into the triple digits. A high yesterday of 102 in Del Rio. And it wasn't just us across the KSAT 12 viewing area, but a good chunk of Texas, even up into the Panhandle and out toward Wichita Falls, saw highs in the triple digits as well. 104 in Midland, 100 in Lubbock, 100 in Abilene, and 100 at Fort Stockton. And the reason for this is we do have a heat high high right over Mexico right now. That's building that heat around areas generally west of San Antonio. And we're going to be under the influence of this heat high as well today, too. And I really don't see much change in the forecast from yesterday. We started yesterday with clouds and we ended up with sunshine. And today we started with clouds and we're already starting to see the sun through those clouds. So it's going to be a very similar forecast, almost a carbon copy of yesterday's forecast today. Hey, at least you know how to prepare for the weather today. Definitely, if you want to head out, just know that it's going to be sunny, it's going to be hot, and it's going to be muggy in the afternoon. Here's a look at the satellite imagery, and you can kind of see that the same area that was dealing with morning clouds yesterday is dealing with morning clouds this morning. We are going to see these clouds stick around through the lunch hour, and then by the afternoon we'll have total sunshine. You'll also notice the humidity. Dew points are high in the 60s. Anytime a dew point gets above 60 degrees, that's when you notice it. That's when you start to have a bad hair day. That's when it feels like you're walking into a wall of water. You know the drill. We're all from around this area and used to the summertime humidity. It's just that we're getting this humidity in May, and so it's going to feel a lot like summer for the rest of the weekend and even into the early part of next week. It's 72 right now at San Antonio International Airport, in the 60s up in the hill country, so just a smidge cooler, but all of us are mild and muggy this morning. 75 in Del Rio and 76 in Beeville. I want to show you the forecast going forward. This is 10 o'clock in the morning. You can see that there's still going to be some areas of clouds, but then watch, poof, those clouds go away. We're into the afternoon with a lot of sunshine, and temperatures will respond accordingly. We'll already be in the 80s by noon, and then into the afternoon, 95 degrees for the afternoon high, mostly sunny skies, not as breezy as yesterday. That is the one distinction in the forecast. Winds will be from the southeast at 10 miles per hour rather than gusting up to 30 miles per hour like they were doing yesterday, especially in the evening hours. So yeah, today is going to be a warm day. Tomorrow is Star Wars Day. It's May the 4th. It's like you were saying, may the 4th be with you. May the 4th. All right. And Stephanie's a big Star Wars fan, so we made this graphic just for you. The Death Star, adios Death Star. May the 4th tomorrow will be pretty nice. We'll have morning clouds and afternoon sun and a high near 95. So it's going to be pretty similar to today. Then looking ahead to the week, we are going to see a front move through, and that'll allow for temperatures to fall into the 80s in the middle of the week. And then another front is going to move through on Saturday, sending our highs into the 70s and giving us a chance for some light rain. Mac, Stephanie?
Very cool. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. 8:50, 72 degrees out.
And still ahead on GMSA, how one Michigan family decided to bring the zoo to their home.
And take a look at those louder numbers. Pick 3, 141 Fireball. 2, Daily 4, 4950 Fireball 9.
Cash 5, 17, 28, 31, 32, 34. And your Powerball numbers 13, 16, 33, 58, 68, Powerball 24, Power Play 5. Good luck.
And time to take a look at birthdays this morning. Maria, 78. Happy birthday, Maria.
Happy birthday, Maria. And we also want to give a special shout out to Pamela. She is an RN at BAMC and was actually one of the healthcare workers who helped KSAT's own Ursula Perry. So keep posting your birthday pictures on ksat.com/birthdays. Remember to include a name and an age. We show them every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right here on GMSA. Thank you, Pamela. One man was hit and killed after his SUV stalled out on the highway. It happened last night on I-10 under UTSA Boulevard. Police say a pickup truck heading eastbound on I-10 crashed into that stopped SUV, killing the driver inside. Now, police are ruling it an accident and tell us alcohol was not a factor. The driver of the pickup was taken to the hospital, but is expected to be okay.
Looking back at an unsolved murder from 2.5 years ago. Tomorrow on GMSA at 6 a.m., why the case remains open in our South Texas Crime Story series.
And another look at the pollen count before you go. It's great today. You know, mold is much lower than it was even a couple days ago. It's low at 390. Grass and pecan are present, but very low at only 10. And taking a look at the forecast, it's 74 degrees outside right now, but we'll see those morning clouds erode, and we'll be looking at a sunny and hot afternoon. 95 degrees, southeast winds at 10 miles per hour. And taking a look at the rest of the week, you can see that we're looking at temperatures cooling down after a front arrives on Wednesday. Our highs will only be in the 80s. And then as we head toward the weekend, we'll see another drop in temperatures in the 70s.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah. Quick story before you go. A family in Michigan loves going to the zoo. Well, they decided to get a little creative during this pandemic.
They decided to create their own on their front lawn with stuffed animals. They used enclosures to make it look just like a zoo in real life.
There you go. All right,
That's so cute.
So cute. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Bye, guys.